So the online people are watching a recording of me trying to make this thing work. That must be exciting. What I want to know is how come this thing turns around? You people, this modern technology. There we go. All right. There we go. And I suppose we're recording. We'll find out, won't we, down the road? Who knows? It's just a good thing this class is only an hour class, and we have an hour and a half to get through it. Because, what? I left my other class at 20 after. So it's taken 20 minutes to get this thing up and going. So that means if we go for an hour, we'll be done about 15 till. Okay? We'll actually be done when we finish the homework here. I've been sending you emails like you wouldn't believe, haven't I? You're sick and tired of all my emails. If I get one more email that says math 241 or whatever it is, I'm just going to scream and send him a reply, I hear you. But, you know, I send you a message, and I don't know whether you got it or not. So I just keep sending you another one. So you say, you know what? He might not send as many if when he sends me one, if I say, got it, or thanks, or whatever. A little bit of feedback never hurts, and then you won't be barraged with so many emails. And who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? You freshmen heard at the dinner that the dean calls me the dean of the faculty, and I thought, I'm no dean, I'm working from home now. I'm, quote, retired. But I didn't want to quit teaching, so I said, I'll keep teaching until you find somebody who wants my classes, math and psychology. I pretty well got this thing sewed up till I die and go to heaven, don't I? So here I am. And the IT guy says, I'm the first one on campus to bring a tablet to school. Didn't have any choice about it. I mean, if I'm writing on this little whiteboard, the people on the front row can see it. The rest of you are going, I don't know what's going on. So, and see, every time I do something, this thing flips around on me. Do I have to touch the bottom of this thing? Because I'm touching the side? Is that what's going on? Man, I'm telling you, it's a strange world you people live in. So we're on page 10, working problem 2. You know, from reading the emails and the announcements on Canvas and all that, the procedure for this class, so I don't need to waste time talking about it. We'll just start doing it. If you have a question, we have 15 minutes after class, you can ask me then. What do the letters in RSTUV procedure stand for? I have no idea. So, those of you who read say, wait a minute, I think I read that. It's on page 3. I don't remember what I read, I just remember the page it's on. You look back at page 3, and what do you write down for question 2?
Read the problems, select them,
Keep going.
think of a plan to solve, and use what you're studying, verify your answers.
Okay, thank you very much. Those of you in the back who didn't hear it, look it up. You don't have a book? Sit next to somebody who has one. You saw the memo. Number 4. What is web query? I don't know. I don't even want to guess on that one. Oh, it's at the bottom of page 10. What is web query?
Research service.
Thank you. How many membership plans are available for customers?
3.
Thank you. Well, we're done with that one. 6. We're going to get this thing done in an hour, aren't we? We're on a roll here. If you're in the light use plan and make 15 transactions in a given month, I'm in the light use plan and I make 15 transactions. What's your total cost? Total cost. I don't know. What's the light use plan? What's the light use plan?
$29.25.
The light use plan? I thought it says $1.95. Light use plan is $1.95. Right? Plus what?
The transaction fee.
15 times 10? 10 are free. Isn't that what it says? The light use plan gets 10 free ones. So how many do I have left after 10? 5, and I take that times what? 15 cents. Everybody follow that? Oh man, got it? We all looking at the same stuff here? So now I just have to take 5 times 15. What is that, 75? Add that to 195. What they want to know? What's your total cost for the month? What's the answer? It's on the screen.
270.
Did I make a mistake? What's the answer? $2.70. And when you do your homework, this is what I want you to do. You say, well, what do I put down? Remember I said if you don't put down how you got the answer to your homework, then you don't get credit for it when you turn it in. Say, so watch what I'm going to do for exercise 2 so I get credit. Page 3. See that? That's where I found that information. Number 4, page 10. You follow me? Now, I'm putting the page numbers down because when I look at page 10, that tells me I knew where that came from. But you say, you could write out a sentence, you can do anything you want, but you have to tell me how you got your answer, if you did it in your head. So for number 6, this is how I got my answer. So I just put that on the paper, and then I just scroll up there. You want one of these now? Oh, cool, isn't it? And we go to what, number 8? That's the neatest thing about this whole tablet stuff that I like. No more erasing. I told my wife, I have entered a new generation of mathematics teaching, and I'm never going back to whiteboard markers again. I told the academic dean at the dinner, I said, you need to put a screen in my little classroom, so when I go back over there to teach math, I'm teaching with my tablet, because I don't use whiteboards and markers anymore for math. I'm a changed man. I've joined your generation, almost. Number 8. What's the maximum number of calls you can make in the occasional plan and come out spending less than in the light use plan? So I want my occasional plan to be less than my light use plan. Is that what it said? How do I get my occasional plan? There's no monthly fee. It's just inquiries times what? 20 cents. Isn't that right? And what's the other one? Light use plan. That's $1.95. Plus the inquiries minus 10, because you get 10 free ones, right? Times 15 cents. Does that look right? I know, I look at my hand when I'm working on my car, and I'm going, My grandfather's hand used to shake like that. When I look at that penmanship, I go, that's the way my grandfather used to write too. What was wrong with my grandfather? Nothing. He was just old like I am. So there you go. You get the squiggles. Okay. So you can use mathematics to solve this. Have you figured it out? You take 195 plus, you have 0.15i minus 10 times 0.15, you know, distribute all that kind of stuff. Have you learned how to do that someplace in math? You go, yeah, okay. So those of you who know how to do that, go ahead and do it. For the rest of you, now, what's the question I'm trying to answer for number 8? Calls or inquiries. How many inquiries can I make? So if I have one inquiry, this is 20 cents, and this is $1.95 plus something, right? So I know one inquiry isn't going to work. You follow what I'm doing? So I say, well, what if we had 10 inquiries? See, I'm picking some numbers. It's a problem-solving strategy. It's called trial and error. It's taught in books, in problem-solving classes in the world. I take that times 0.20, and I get $2, don't I? And I say 10 over here would be, oh, those are free, so 10 minus 10 is 0, and that's $1.95. So is this less than that? No, this is more than that. Isn't this? $2 is not less than $1.95. So what do I have to do to get less than that? Go from 10 back to what? What? If I have to go down from 10, what's the next number below 10?
9.
Thank you. Just check and see if we're all on the same page today. 9 times 0.20 is $1.80.
Wait, but aren't the first 10 free? So the 10 on the right side would be 0.
No, 10, yeah. Okay, you're right. 10 minus 10 is 0 times 15, which is that's 195 plus 0.
What?
See, look at the chart. Look at the chart. You're paying $1.95. You see that in the
Yeah,
picture?
I got it.
So now we're $1.80, and this is $1.95. Now we're less than. So what's the answer to how many inquiries, how many calls can I make?
9.
9. So aren't you glad I taught you the trial and error method? And those of you who know algebra, go ahead and do it that way just because you love algebra. Do I ask for people to raise their hands on that one? I don't think so. Number 10. Oh boy, they're getting messy now. This thing should have a hole in it. Guys, think of all this. Whoops. That wasn't any good. Number, what did we say? 10. If you expect to have 50 transactions in a month, 50 transactions, which plan? Which plan? Well, let's just do all of them. The occasional plan would be 50 times 20 cents, $10, right? The light use plan would be $1.95 plus you get 10 free, so 40 times 15 cents. What's 40 times 15 cents? $6?
Yeah.
So this plan is $7.95. The standard plan is $9.95. For up to 100 calls, so 100 times. So I'm in good shape. So, what was the question? Now, do you see? See, I look at the question, I write down what I need to find, then I start finding it, And by the time I'm finished finding it, I'm not even sure what they wanted to know. Does that ever happen to any of you when you're working math problems? So I go back and look at the problem again and say, which plan should you select? And the answer is light use. And can you see where, if you were working this on your homework, you could put it like that in this circle, light use, and that would be good enough. You go, but that's messy. And I was always told that math teachers want nice, tidy papers. Not this math teacher. The messier, the better. I want to see your work when you turn it in. And when you grade them, if you missed it, you check it wrong. Generally, it's best to do all your work, then go look at the book and check it, and then check them wrong. Go back and look at the ones you missed. And if you know why you missed it, make the corrections. If you had one of these little tablets, you could change the color. How cool would that be? And make your corrections in color. And then you could just email it to me. But you don't have one of these. So, so just put it on paper and just go back and fix it. And if you missed one and you don't know why you didn't get the right answer and you can't figure it out, put, I don't understand this one. And then I'll probably send you an email telling you how it works and asking you if that makes sense. You go, what? You have 40 people and you're going to do that? You know how much I love math? The thought of going home after class today and before now and Wednesday, spending 10 hours on the computer helping people understand math just makes my heart pitter-patter. I love math. I've loved it since I was a little kid. But when I became a teacher and discovered that most people didn't like it and couldn't figure it out, I went to university and got a major in psychology so I could get inside their heads. And now, I not only love math, I love helping people understand it. So it's no big deal. If you miss one and don't understand it, then I'm not going to penalize you for that. I'll help you figure it out, and then you're on your way. If you don't show your work, I'll penalize you for that. See, that's crazy. Yeah? Just make a note of it. Get with the program. Number 12. Wow. We have been going for 10 minutes. This is so cool. I told my wife, this is going to make math class go a lot faster. Can you people on the fourth row see that okay? So I'm going to tell them they can leave 4 rows in here, and on Wednesday, I'll bring an attendant. Did the people on the back row sign an attendance thing? Did the attendance paper come back there? Then just put your names on a piece of paper and give it to me. And on Wednesday, I'll have an attendance sheet for the 4th row. And we'll just tell him to leave that 4th row up. Okay, number 12. 2, 5, 10, 17. Okay. And then 3 spaces. You know what to do? Say no. Well, let's read the directions. In problems 11 through 20, identify the pattern and find the next 3 terms. All right. How did I get from 2 to 5? I mean, how could I get from 2 to 5? Add 3. That sounds like a good idea. How would I get from 5 to 10?
Add 5.
Add 5. How would I get from 10 to 17?
Add 7.
Add 7. I added 3, 5, and 7. Does anyone see a pattern? What?
The numbers you add go up by 2 each time.
So what do I go from here to here? I go add what?
You add 9.
9. And then from here to here, I do what?
Add 11.
Everybody follow where they're getting those numbers? Everybody see that pattern? Whoa, you go, I see it. That's so cool. I can't believe it. I feel like a mathematical genius. Good for you. And then from here to here,
13.
add what? 13. So now it's just a matter of arithmetic. This is where we get in trouble because we know we got the pattern figured out. Now we make a mistake in arithmetic, and that just rips me every time. Okay, 17 plus 9 is
26.
26 plus 11 is
37.
and 37 plus 13 is
50.
oh man, we're on our way. What's number 14 say? 3 squared, 3 to the 4th, 3 to the 8th, and then 3 little lines. This is 3 to the 1st, if you didn't know that. Math people just mess with you. Say, why didn't they put a 1 there in the book? It isn't necessary. It's understood to be 1. You understand it. I understand it. The other math people in the world understand it. But the rest of the world doesn't. So why don't they put a 1 there? So when you see a number by itself, it's just 1. You say, well, what could it be if it wasn't 1? This is fun. If it wasn't 1, what could you put there? 0? What's 3 to the 0 power?
0.
Oh, don't you love it? That's 1.
It's 1, yeah, it's 1.
You go, no way. Yeah, watch this. Divide 3 to the 0 power by 3 to the 0 power. And what's any number divided by itself?
1.
1. So what's 3 to the 0 power?
1.
1. That's disgusting, I know, but it's so much fun. Mathematicians, you know, we sit around and do this stuff and think this is so cool. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 4, 8. Now what's the question? Look for a pattern. Do you see a pattern? Double it. Double 1, you get 2. Double 2, you get 4. Double 4, you get 8. Double 8, you get what?
16.
16. Double 16, you get
32.
32. Double 32, you get
64.
now we just have to fill in the 3's that were underneath. That was easy. Number 16. You better scroll this up for number 16. What's going on here? It's got a square. Boy. And this one's shaded in. Then it's got another square. And which one's shaded in? This one. How did I get from here to here? I flipped it once. I flipped it twice. So 2 flips. You follow me? Gets me from here to here. Everybody see that? So let's draw another one. What do we have this time? 16? Yeah, keep looking at the right one, Tom. And which one's shaded in here? This one right here. So I flipped to get from here to here, I flipped once, and then I flipped twice. So 2 flips again, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I shaded in the wrong one. Man. It was this one here that's shaded in, isn't it? So that was 3 flips. Everybody see that? So now look at the next one. And this is a disgusting problem. And this one's shaded in. So how did I get from here around to there? From here, I went 1, 2, 3 again. So I did 3 flips to get to there. So I did 2 flips, then I did 3 flips, then I did 3 flips. And then the question is, what do you do next? You go, I have no idea. I mean, do you understand where the guy who wrote this book, yes?
Isn't it 4 flips?
Let's see. 1, 2. We were here. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Isn't it 3?
It depends on whether you go this way or this way.
Well,
It's
if
more
we keep
even
going
that way.
clockwise,
Yeah.
if we keep going clockwise,
So I ran into the same thing. I got
Never mind.
confused. second.
Okay?
Well, I mean, it's
No, but see, that's what, these questions are how we think through this stuff. So it's like, okay, so it's 3 flips. Now, what do I do next? Now, see, here's what I'm thinking. I'm the guy who plays with math all day, and I'm going, I don't know, do I do 2, 3, 3 again? Or do I do 3, 3, 3? I start out with 2 and just do 3 after that? And if that's the case, why didn't they do 3 in the first place and go 3, 3, 3 so you'd know it was 3 every time? In other words, the guy who wrote this problem didn't give us enough information to see clearly what the pattern is. So the only way I know what he wants is look at the answer book. You follow me? So you say, I don't know what to do. So you leave this one blank, then when you grade your paper, you go, oh, it was 3 flips. So then you come back and say, okay, I can see that if you ignore the first one. You follow what's happening? And so then you tell me why you missed it, because it didn't follow the thinking. And I understand because I didn't follow the thinking either. Because the guy who wrote the book didn't give us good information. And that's not your fault. That's the guy's fault who wrote the book. And that will happen sometimes. And so when you can't figure it out, you go, don't throw the book away. Don't get frustrated. Just check, say, hey, I don't know. Just put a big question mark by it. Then when you grade it, figure out what the answer is. And if you can figure out how they got it. And if you can't, send me an email and I'll write you a letter and I'll send you an email and tell you. Number 18. But I'm glad we had one of those. 1/14, 1/9, 1/12, 1/7, and 1/10. And what's next? How did I get from 14 to 9?
-5.
-5. How did I get from 9 to 12?
plus.
+3. How did I get from 12 to 7?
-5.
-5. How do I get from 7 to 10? Everybody see how you do this? You say, how do you know where to start? Okay, there's only 4 operations in math. What are they? Add, subtract, multiply, and divide? So which one am I going to try first? The easy one, addition. If that doesn't work, I try subtraction. If that doesn't work, I try multiplication or division. You follow the thinking? There's only four things to try, so pick one of them and try it. So, magic question. Does anyone see the pattern? So what's the next one? To get from here to here? Well, we know what goes on top, don't we? From here to here, what do? We subtract 5, add 3, subtract 5, add 3, so we go -5, right? 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 So what do we put here? 5. You go, I don't like that. Okay, no one said you had to like it. Said, well, I'm going to change it and put a number there that I feel good about. Oh, that's great. Trust your heart and miss the math problem every time. Haven't you read that in the Bible? The heart is what? Deceitful. Deceitful. Then after -5, what do I do next? +3. So what's this? And then after +3 is what?
-5.
-5. So that's 3. Bingo. We're there. Well, that was easy enough. 18, 20. 6, 1, 9, 5, 12, 9, 15. How do I get from 6 to 1? -5. How do I get from 1 to 9? How do I get from 9 to 5? What?
-4.
-4. Now see, some of you are saying, I'm looking at all the numbers and I don't see a pattern. Well, no you don't, because you haven't done the math yet. Do the math first and just see what happens. How do you get from 5 to 12? +7. How do you get from 12 to 9? -3. How do you get from 9 to 15? +6. Whoops, this was wrong. 7 and 1 don't make 9. That's an 8. Why didn't somebody catch me on that? Now you see, making a mistake on the first one, on the second one here, messed me up, didn't it? Trying to see the pattern. So I came back and said, something's not right here. I said, I'm looking for a pattern. Okay, go back and check your math. Oh, 1 plus 8 is 9, not 1 plus 7. Did anyone notice that mistake I made? Thank you. Because you raised your hand about liking math, didn't you, earlier on? Yeah, the rest of them, they don't care. You know, I could lead them off a cliff. And they'd say, if that's where he's going, just keep following the man. I know he's screaming on the way down, but it looks to me like that's the way to get the answer. So you check to see if you made a mistake. And I used to make mistakes on purpose in math so I could help students realize you haven't committed the unpardonable sin by making a mistake in math. But now I don't have to do that anymore. Any idea why I don't have to plan to make them? I make plenty of them on my own just without even trying. Okay, so I did minus 5, plus 8, minus 4, plus 7, minus 3, plus 6. So now I know from here to here, oh, we're doing 3 more. So from here to here, it's going to be minus something, right? Because I did minus, plus, minus what?
2.
5, 4, 3, 2. And then from here to here, it's going to be,
Plus 5.
okay, it was minus, 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 minus. Then what's next?
Plus
Plus what?
5.
8, 7, 6, 5. Then from here to here, it's what? Minus 1. Everybody see where we're getting the numbers from the pattern? Now we go up and find the answers. Let's see. 15 minus 2 is what?
13.
13 plus 5 is?
18.
18 minus 1 is? There you go. We're done with that stuff. Oh, cool. 22. The first 10 triangular numbers are 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36, 45, 55. You see a pattern? How did I get from 1 to 3?
Plus 2.
Plus 2. How did I get from 3 to 6?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. How did I get from 6 to 10? Plus 4. From 10 to 15? I think I see the pattern here. Plus 6. Plus 7. Plus 8. Plus 9. Plus 10. So for the next 3, don't you just love this? I told you, I'm not going back to whiteboard markers ever again. I was here last week, before you got here, teaching the first 3 lessons on this thing so I could figure out how to do it. And I said to my wife, I'm not going back to whiteboard markers. So then I go what? Plus 11. Then what?
Plus 12.
Plus 12. And then
Plus 13.
plus 13. Okay? So that's 66, 78, and 91. Is that what they want me to do? No. They want me to find the difference between these adjacent numbers. Oh. Well, let's see. This is, what is this? This is 2. This is 3. So that would be 4, 5, 6. Well, I did it up above. It's like, okay. Find the sum between adjacent numbers. Oh, so that would be 4, 9. You follow me? 3 and 1 is 4. 6 and 3 is 9. 10 and 6 is 16. Whoa! 10 and 15 is 25. Everybody see a pattern? Wow, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. Wow. I got a couple of patterns going here, don't I, in terms of working this thing out. Follow the pattern and find the sum of the 9th and 10th triangular numbers. So what would I do? I could just scroll it on across here, couldn't I? And just go up to, what are we up to here? Don't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How do I get that off of here?
There's a little
I bet
S.
like that. You know, if they sold cars like they sell tablets, you'd buy the car and get in to drive off and there's no key in it, and you'd say, where's the key? You'd say, that cost you $100. That's what they charged me for this goofy pencil. $100. The tablet doesn't come with a pencil. It's a tablet made for using a pencil, and you buy the pencil for $100. That's why Bill Gates is the richest man in the world, folks. Okay, enough of that nonsense. Let's just keep moving here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, how come it won't move for me? Which one do they want?
10.
The 9th and the 10th? Oh, that would just be, which one was this? Man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 9th one,
Yeah.
and that's the 10th one. So the sum of the 9th and the 10th would be 45 and 55. Find the sum of the 14th and the 15th. Now, what's 45 and 55 added together? 100. So watch. The 10th term is 10 squared. So what do you think the sum of the 14th and the 14th and what's the sum of the 14th and the 15th going to be?
15 squared.
15 squared. Get your calculator out and do the math, and you'll be done with it. It's 225, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know for sure anymore. Number 24. This figure represents the square numbers. I didn't want to scroll up. I don't know. You talk bad about it. You talk bad about Bill Gates, and the machine quits working. That's true. My son-in-law has Alexa, that little lady that you pick songs. I say, Alexa, read me some cowboy poetry. And she says, I have no cowboy poetry. I said, what? You don't know cowboy poetry? What's your problem? And she won't listen to me anymore. She's programmed to turn you off if you talk mean to her. Boy, touchy, touchy, touchy. Okay, so you've got those little dots, and 1 dot is 1. Then, now see, here's 1 dot. Okay, here's 2 dots. You follow me? And then here's 3 dots. But when you put the square with them, this becomes, you see how this, not very good penmanship there, but how this, and this becomes, you follow me? There's 3 there, but there's also, whoops, no, we don't want those. There's 3 wide and 3 tall. And of course, for the next one, there's 4 wide. And then that means there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tall. Okay? So have you figured out how to draw this picture for the next one? You go 5 wide and then 5 tall. And it is nice. Like somebody said, we can hardly see the grids on your tablet because you don't have to see them. But you say, I might do my math on grid paper. It might help me work through these. So then when it says draw the next square, you just put 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you get the idea, don't you? We've done enough of this where you're starting to see what's going on. Good. Describe the pattern. And list the next 3 squares. Well, I can list them. What's the pattern? Well, 1 squared is 1 dot. 2 squared is 4 dots. 3 squared is 9 dots. 4 squared is 16 dots. 5 squared is 25 dots. You follow what's going on? Good. 26. Yeah, Tom, hold it down here, or it'll be flipping the screen on me. I have allergies and sinus problems, along with a few other things, but you don't want to hear a litany of my health problems. Just want you to know why I blow my nose so often. If you live as long as I do, you'll probably have a litany of health problems too. And that's what old people do. They get together and talk about their health problems. Give me a break. I'm going downstairs and do some math. Okay. 26 is the same kind of thing with drawn lines. So you just keep drawing the pictures and counting up the sides. 28 says follow this procedure. Let's see if it'll scroll up for me. It's a little sensitive. What does 28 say to do? What's 28 say to do?
Well,
What's it say?
select a number.
Somebody select a number. What? 5. Somebody else select a number.
3.
3. Somebody else select a number.
12.
12. There we go. That's enough. Now, what are we supposed to do next?
Add 7.
So we've got what? 12 here, 10 here, and 19 here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Multiply it by 3.
Times 3, times 3, times 3. 36, 30. Whoops. No. 3 nines is 27. 57. Then what?
Subtract 6 from
Minus
the
6,
product.
minus 6, minus 6. 30. 24. 51. Then what?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. 10. 8. And 17. Then what?
Subtract 5 from the
And what do we get? 5, 3, and 12. Well, wasn't that special? Okay? That's all you're doing. Do 4 different numbers. Then it says represent the original number by n and prove that the conjecture is true. You go, what does that mean? Okay, let's scroll this over a little bit. Then what do I do next? N plus what? Then it's n plus 7 times what? Then it's n plus 7 times 3 minus 6. You with me? Then it's n plus 7. Then it's all of that divided by 3. Then it's all of this minus 5. Would everybody agree with the way I've written this? So what's 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 3 into 6 is 2. Because you divide 3 into both parts, don't you? So now I have n plus 7 minus 2, which is what? N plus 5, and then take minus 5, and I end up with what?
N.
N. That's how you prove the conjecture. You just show them, you just do the work and show what happens. Well, what else we got going here? That's 28. Where are we here? I guess the next one is 38. Looks like. Number 38. Isn't that something? When I want that typing board up there, I can't get it, and when I don't care for it, it pops up at me. There's a pattern relating to the length of foot and shoe for men. The pattern is, okay, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And 9 is 5, size 5. And 10 is 8. And 11 is 11. How do I get from 5 to 8?
Add 3.
How do I get from 8 to 11?
Add 3.
How do I get from 11 to the next one?
Add 3.
So what is this? Size 14. Then what? Size 17. Then what? Size 20. Why do they do that? I don't know. But you see the math involved, you just find a pattern and work through it. Well, that was easy enough. What? Stop with number 43. We're done working these? How could that be? Did I skip one? Well, I knew it was going to go faster doing it this way. You mean to say all these years I've been going to the board and erasing has used up 10 minutes of time in an hour class? Wow. So what that means is, if this tablet makes things go faster, then once we're finished, we're finished. The class is over, and that means I'm here from 10:30 till time to go to chapel to answer questions that you might have. And if you don't want to ask in class, based on what I've been doing, what should you people do based on what I've been doing to you before class started today?
Email.
Bombard that turkey with email. And that goes for the online people too. If you can't follow all of this, in fact, if you notice, I've been scrolling up with this thing every time. Well, I found out, actually my grandson showed me that. He said, "Poppy, did you know that because it's got all this stuff on a scroll and I've labeled this page 1.1, that I can email it to anybody anywhere in the world?" So if you decide you want to see all this stuff, then say, "Can you send me what you just did on the board as an email?" And I don't know how it'll show it to you, if it'll show the progression, and if you'll just have to, and it won't have me talking. I'm not sure what it'll do, but if somebody wants it, let me know and I'll email it to you. Any questions about the class, about anything? Yes?
Our homework is to do the odd number questions.
That's right. So now you do the odd ones. Then after you work them all, go to the back and check it. The reason you don't want to check it each time you work one, remember I said the heart's deceitful? Okay, if I do that when I'm working math, if I look to see what the answer is, if I got the first problem right, guess what my eyes do without me even telling them to do it?
Look at the other.
They look at the next answer. My heart just doesn't want to do all that math. How could that be? I love math. All I'm saying is it's deceitful, and it'll look at the next one so I see the answer before I see the problem, and that clouds my thinking, because you don't get to do that when you're taking a test. So the best thing to do is work all the problems, and then go back and grade them, and then go look at them again. And I have one more thing I have to do here before we get out of here. Where are they? Okay, would you rather have, you brought your book today, right? And you read the pages 2 through 10. Is that right? Okay. So what do you want? A pencil or one of these little Harvey. While you're deciding, I'll open this thing up. So if you didn't bring your book today, and if you didn't read those pages, there's no reason to stay. Because the only people who get pencils and markers are the people who who brought their book to class today, and who read the pages. Figure out what you want. All right. Did you read? Didn't bring your book?
I read today.
But you didn't bring your book. Okay. All right. All right. Anybody back here get one? You don't have your book yet? No. Did you? Which do you want? Okay. There are little tags. You put your name on it. Stick them on whatever you want. So my first name is the receptionist. Say, oh, that's wrong. Okay. You just peel that, pull that little plastic out of there.
Hey, do we? I'll
Did
put
you
my.
bring your book and read the pages? Okay. All right. Did you read the book and bring your pages?
I read it.
You got the book? Did you read the pages? Yeah, give me your homework on paper and bring it to class on Wednesday. Did you bring your book and read the pages?
I put my paper up there and say no.
Thanks. Did you read the book? Bring a book and read the pages? All right. Did you read the pages? Brought your book? All right. Up to 43. Stop at 43.
It's like most people are either
How
really
much
hard
fun
on
is
the puppet,
this?
and then there's Ravenclaw, and then there's Loki.
Oh.
I had a question.
What?
I had a question.
Okay, let me turn this off so people online don't have to keep watching stuff.
But then my sister was like, you do realize you have that downstairs, and I was like, what?
What's that on?
She was like, it's very like,
Okay.